Welcome to Have Cheetah Will Review. I'm your host. Yep, I'm Sully. The cheetah is downstairs doing some sunbathing. Um, we reviewed our first two reviews on here, exclusive to the channel. So we're back here with our third one, and today we'll be talking about 2016's Officer Downe. Officer Downe was released in 2016. It was stars Kim Coates and Alison Lohman, uh, and was directed by Sean Crahan, also known as Clown. If you're into Slipknot, he directed this film. The film was written by Joe Casey, with assistance by credit to Chris Burnham, and yeah. So Officer Downe is an image comic book that was created by Joe Casey and was drawn by Chris Burnham. And it basically is a story about an LA cop who was killed in the line of duty about 25 years ago, who lived nothing but for the job. He is somehow resurrected through science, and he goes out and he fights the good fight every day, and he dies a lot. So they have to go get his body, bring him back down, and reanimate him and put him out there again. Uh, After one encounter, the police chief has decided to assign a backup squad to Officer Downe and to help him out, to guard him out. They're basically what they're trying to do is have him not get killed so often. But none of the backup crew is in a real hurry to go out there and fulfill their duties, except for one rookie officer, Officer Gable. So, Officer Downe, he's such a nuisance to the underground that the main group in the underground, the Fortune 500, decide to hire some outside help to get rid of Officer Downe. Uh, yeah, wow. Okay. Well, I will go into the pros and cons of this film. Um, the pro obviously is Kim Coates, who you might remember from the Sons of Anarchy, Open Range, Silent Hill. Um, it was it was frustrating to watch him in this movie, um, because he really believed in the project, but this movie is a mess, really badly made mess. You're in trouble, deep trouble, is when the creator of your comic book, which is Joe Casey, can't bring his story or his characters to the big screen. The movie's terribly written. The characters are underdeveloped. It's sloppy. Uh, the acting, other than Kim Coates, is extremely poor for the material. This is a comic book that, like I was talking to my friend Catfish, where him and I were talking about this movie. I think that I think Kim Coates, I think once he saw that Mark Neveldine was attached to this project, he should have just took that as a hint and ran for his life. For those who may not remember Mark Neveldine, he was one of the guys who actually made a good movie with his partner, a guy named Taylor. Well, anyway, they actually made a good movie called Crank with Jason Statham. It then eventually, after that, all the movies just generally got worse, and he actually is responsible for two of the worst superhero movies ever made, and that was in Jonah Hex. He produced that, and he also produced Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, which is, like I said, two of the worst superhero movies, mainstream superhero movies made in the last 30 years. Um, I think that once he saw his name attached to this, that was probably would have been a really good sign that this was not going to be that good of a movie, and it lived down to that premise, um, which is really shocking because Joe Casey got total creative control. A lot of times, a writer will not get that, a creator will not get that. They'll bring in other writers, people with a background of it, a background, in screenwriting and whatnot, to take over. Casey would have gotten credited for a creative, yeah, he created the characters, but somebody else would have written the story. Well, you would think that with him writing his own origin story, this would have been much better, but it didn't work out that way. The action, there's not very much dialogue. It's set up like a cartoon. It has a cartoon lettering in it, and it's a cartoon, and the violence is really over the top. There's a lot borrowed from it, from other movies. The persona of Officer Downe, the first thing you think of right off the bat is Judge Dredd. He has that same demeanor, shoot first, kill first, judge, jury, executioner. Carries a unique weapon and all that other jazz, but except that he dies, and then he basically is reanimated, and this is I don't know if it's a knockoff or a homage to the Matrix, but basically he gets reanimated by a group of humans who are basically human batteries down in what they call the bullpen. And I won't go into too much detail about the bullpen because that would take away from the plot, what little there is. I will say that the action was fun. There's a mixture of CGI and practical effects. I think the one thing that really surprised me a lot was seeing Alison Lohman in this movie. She has a minor role, and she's killed off rather quickly in it. But wow, all I gotta say is, what happened to her? I mean, she has such a great start to her career with White Oleander. She's in the cult classic Drag Me to Hell. But holy crow, what the hell happened? She's a very good actress. And it seems like her projects get worse and worse. Kim Coates, I'm disappointed for him. He's a really strong actor, got put in a pile of shit. In the interview on the special features, he mentioned how he had just left Sons of Anarchy, and he was looking to get back in the films. And he said, for 4 months, while he was looking at different films, what projects to join. And for the life of God, I just can't imagine why he chose this one. He's very proud of the fact that he did 95% of his stunts, and believe me, there's some good stunt work in here. So there's that. But it doesn't make up for the fact that there's no fucking story to this movie. There's none. It's hollow. It's shallow. You'll get a better story in a single issue of a comic book than you would in this movie, and this is supposed to be an origin film. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. This movie currently has a 4.2 in the International Movie Database, and the critics hated it, of course, because we all love comic books. We do. We all love them. But wow, not like this. This is just bad. According to my research, this movie made only $850 at the box office. So basically, what they did, they opened it up in one theater, probably in a small podunk town in Oklahoma or Missouri or something like that, and it got a theatrical release. I wish I could say more about this. I really do. But I can't. It was not well done. Very disappointed. Felt bad for Kim Coates, Alison Lohman. They deserve better. As far as the directing goes, Sean Crahan, stick to drumming. Much better at doing that, or music videos, or go back to do short films. Learn your craft a little bit. I think you have some exciting ideas. You just need a better written story. For your ideas to be realized. I'm not going to say you're a bad director. I'm just going to say that you need better material. You got to choose wisely. All right, so that's it. That's all we got for Officer Downe. It runs for about 90 minutes It does have it has some special features. About 30 minutes worth of special features on there. A making of and a nice interview with Kim Coates. This movie's rated R for extreme graphic violence and a couple of sex scenes. And yeah, um, not one of the better movies I've seen this year by far. Well, that's it for that. So if you've seen Officer Down, well, drop me a comment below. Tell me what you thought of it. Maybe you saw it differently than I did. If so, drop a comment down. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell to let you know when I drop a new review. And of course, I'm always going to be on Sunday night, the Midnight Hour, which is our live podcast on Sundays from 10 p.m. On to whenever. That's with Hobbs Horror, The Spices, and Miss Boomstick, and whoever else we may have. And thank you for watching, and thank you for interacting with me and the Cheetah. And we will see you on the flippity flip. Peace.